Welcome to the 2009 Bahamas Weather Conference web channel.
2008 was quite an interesting season. It was very active. We do a thing called accumulated cyclone energy product, which actually normalizes so you can compare seasons. For example, 2007, the ACE was about 80% or so. This year it was 166. So we doubled that even though the number of storms were the same. So they were not only a lot of storms, but they were strong and long-lasting storms. Two main areas of impact were the Northern Caribbean, where flooding for the Hispaniola and Puerto Rico were the big items, and everything in Cuba. They had 6 landfalls. 4 of them were in the Category 3 or higher range. So tremendous amount of damage in Cuba, Haiti, and pockets in Dominican Republic, and in Puerto Rico, and down in Jamaica and in the Caymans. The second area of impact was in the United States along the Gulf Coast, where we had, of course, Faye with its rain in Florida, Edward with its rain in Texas, and then Gustav, Dolly, Gustav, and Ike were the hurricane impacts. Gustav was quite a scare. We thought if it intensified crossing the warm waters of the Gulf of Mexico, we would have another catastrophe awaiting the north central Gulf Coast. We were very fortunate that it didn't. It made landfall in southeast Louisiana as a Category 2 hurricane, and I'm sure everyone saw the video of the waves splashing over the industrial canal sea protection. Only 10 or 15 knots stronger and a little farther to the east, and we would have had a major set of surge flooding going on in southeast Louisiana, even within the protective system. Gustav also brought inland effects. Very strong wind gusts and tornadoes occurred in a stretch from southern Mississippi across Lafayette, Baton Rouge, with a considerable amount of damage due to that wind to roofs, power, trees, and whatnot. Then Ike, which of course was a big story that impacted Turks and Caicos, Cuba, and then made a final landfall in Texas, though one of the interesting lessons from that was the surge went all the way across the Gulf from the Florida Panhandle into Texas and then farther inland.
What are the major things that you were able to learn from the 2008 season that may change the way things take place? I'm
absolutely convinced now that as a society in general, we don't have a clear understanding conveying it from us in the expert world to the decision makers and citizens of what surge can be and how it impacts, how it forms, the differences in different areas on surge. So we're going to look at better ways to convey it. We'll talk a little bit later about Saffir-Simpson scale and how we're changing how we convey that. But we're working towards storm surge warnings. We're going to start this year with other graphics, including a probabilistic graphic that people can come up on our website and select an elevation. Say they're concerned about what's the chance of exceeding a 10-foot water level at my location, and they'll get a map that shows the probability of exceeding that value. We think that'll help, but we think a lot of education will have to take place to make that work.